this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Momochi Sakura 11. And Momochi Sakura 11 has a question about the cause célèbre of the moment, the Charlie Charlie Challenge. And her question is what would be my take on this, which is all over the news these days. And for those of you who aren't following the news these days, the Charlie Charlie Challenge is a game supposedly suddenly popular among children that involves summoning a Mexican demon, and this is done by stacking two pencils on each other with a yes-no grid and repeating the name Charlie and asking a question. And supposedly the pencil will move, which is a horrible demonic manifestation, and that's pretty much what it is. And what is my take on it? My take on it is that it's a tempest in a teapot and nothing to be too terribly worried about. It's kind of a classic children's game. It's a cross between two. One is a divination game, the other is a spirit summoning game. And we all know that there are many classic children's spirit summoning games that have nothing to do with actual spirit summoning. In the English-speaking world, the most famous example is Bloody Mary. But there's also Candyman and various other examples that one could think of. This one comes from the Hispanic world, as does another figure called Coffin Joe. And these have been a fairly common children's thing for many generations. And it really has to do with dealing with fear, and also the fact people like to be scared. Is it likely to actually summon a, quote, Mexican demon, end quote? I really don't think so. You can chant Bloody Mary in front of the mirror at midnight. Mary Tudor is not going to manifest in your bedroom. You can chant the name of Coffin Joe. He's not going to come for your soul at midnight. It just isn't like that. And you know, people often like to say, magic isn't like in Harry Potter. You don't wave your hand and have the magical effect. Well, it applies here too. If only metaphysics were this easy, then it would be a very different world. But to actually get major metaphysical accomplishments, you have to put in some time, some practice, and some study. It isn't this simple. Now, is it possible that this kind of children's game can be associated with, for example, poltergeist activity? Well, given the age of the people involved, yes, that's very possible. But it wouldn't really be the cause of it. The ungrounded energy involved would be the cause of it. And most commonly, this sort of thing is not associated with such things. And what I would say is that if you're really worried about it for some reason, well, give it a try and see what happens. If you're watching this vlog, you have a background in metaphysics and you should be able to ground out any energy that should manifest, but you will find that none does. And is this a reasonable form of divination? I don't see why it wouldn't be. Now, one of the other stories that's going on all over the internet is that the pencils move because they're precariously stacked and it means nothing. Well, that doesn't actually mean that it couldn't be a perfectly valid form of divination, but it really has nothing to do with summoning anything. And I really would give it no further thought in that line. What has happened to make it such a big story? And I think if we consider that, you'll really understand where my attitude is coming from. This has been a common children's game in the Spanish-speaking world for a long time. What's happened is that recently it's become more popular in the English-speaking world, and a Christian televangelist got a hold of it. And of course, to a Christian televangelist, anything like this is terrible and demonic and horrible, but that doesn't mean it actually is. And I think that people like to scare themselves, they like to blow things up bigger than they are, and I think for the most part this really isn't a big thing. I think that is churning the news cycle, I think that it gives people a delicious little shiver, and I really think that's all there is to it. So those would be my thoughts on the matter, and I hope you're not terribly disappointed by my attitude, but I'm really not too worried about it. Now, we've come to the end of our week, and it's time to vote for the viewer's favorite question again. And I'm thinking that I will continue the viewer's favorite question, but this will be the last time that I will be sending out a CD to the person who is chosen the viewer's favorite question. In the future, what they will get is the pleasure of being chosen the favorite question. But for this time, I will be sending out a CD to the person who is chosen as having the viewer's favorite question, and our questions from this week are: There was no question on Monday because of the holiday, but on Tuesday our question was Mixing Stuff from Magenta, which was about mixed marriages and whether they are likely to be successful, and also about mixing the teachings of Christianity and paganism. On Wednesday our question was about spontaneity from Sweet Strong Woman, dealing with the benefits of spontaneity and the willingness to try new things in metaphysical practice. On Thursday, our question was about bad karma from Irish Gypsy, and ways to address bad karma from your past. And of course today, our question is Charlie Charlie from Momochi Sakura 11. And please vote for the one that you found most interesting, and you can vote here in the comments section of Magic TV, on Facebook pages the vlog appears on, or you can send it directly to me at Reverend Don Lewis at donlewishp@AOL.com. I want to thank you for taking the time to vote, and thank you also for watching the vlog for another week. And until next time, may you blessed be. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world. The Tarot of Hecate. My 100-card tarot deck, 30 years in the making, finally available to you from witchschoolstore.com. Check out a copy today.